Hello everyone and welcome back to another must-see chess game by Boris Spassky once again. So in this chess game, Boris Spassky had the white pieces and his opponent was a strong chess master. His opponent's name was Coenraad Zuidema, international chess master from Netherlands. And this chess game was played in the Belgrade chess tournament, which Boris Spassky won this tournament with a pretty dominant score. 18 players were competing in this tournament and Spassky won 9 games out of 17 games and he lost 0 times. He didn't lose any chess games in this tournament. He only drew 8 times. So I would like to mention some of the other chess players competed in this tournament very quickly. So Borislav Ivkov, Viktor Korchnoi, Svetozar Gregorich, Alexander Matunovich, Bent Larsen, David Bronstein, Paul Benko, so many other strong players like Dragolyub Minik, Laszlo Szabo, Milan Matulovic, and Borislav Milik. Anyway, some very strong Yugoslav chess players as well. And Spassky just simply dominated the tournament, so just only for the records. And Spassky's opponent, as I mentioned, strong Dutch international master. So this game was played in 1964, a must-see chess game. So we have the Spanish game, Ruy Lopez, and pushing the pawn, bishop back. So this is the classical variation of the Spanish opening. Both players castled, and bishop to g5, h6, bishop to h4, and then d6, liberating the bishop, and here comes a4. So Spassky's threat is very simple. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes bishop, and then a5 and trapping the bishop. So pushing the pawn and fixing the a pawn. And here comes rook to e1. E takes on d4, and then bishop takes knight by Spassky, simply damaging the pawn structure but giving up the valuable bishop. So knight takes on d4 and rook over and knight to d2. g5 and finally pushing the g-pawn because this pin was extremely annoying, as you can see, but it weakened the king side a little bit, but the pin was so annoying. So bishop to g3 and then bishop takes knight, and here comes rook over, f3 by Spassky, bishop to e6. Well, you might wonder what happens if rook takes on b2, then knight to c4, attacking the rook after defending the rook, knight takes on a5, and also attacking the c-pawn. So it doesn't look very good for black. So it's a problem, and also white is creating a passed pawn. So we have f3 by Spassky, bishop to e6, and then b3, rook to b4, and bishop back, queen over, and then rook to c1, and lifting the rook up and defending the b-pawn. And Spassky played queen to c1, and he is eyeing the c-pawn. Bishop takes on b3, but now a very strong move by Boris Spassky. Maybe knight takes bishop was expected, but Spassky played h4, exclamation point. Spassky shows black's weakness in the king side with this move. h4 immediately creates a big problem to deal with in the king side, while black was busy fighting in the queen side. Now black has won another problem in the king side. Of course, black didn't want to open the king because it is going to create a horrible weak position in the king side. Both the h-pawn and the other h-pawn is going to be weak. You can capture with the bishop, and you're not going to survive this. So h4 was a very strong move by Spassky. Bishop to e6, retreating the bishop, but simply h takes on g5. H takes on g5, and then knight to c4. Both the g and the a pawns are under fire, so this liberates the queen and also attacking the a pawn. Here comes knight to h7, defending the more critical, the more important g pawn with the knight. Well, if bishop takes knight, actually this is going to be a disaster for black, some sort of disaster, because of queen takes on g5, check, and then we can take the knight, and it's hard to defend against bishop to h4 and queen to h8, mate idea when the king looks so open and defenseless. So knight to c4, and knight goes back, and then knight takes on a5, but this time the a pawn is falling with attacking the queen and also targeting the c pawn, so defending the queen, and there goes the c pawn. Now Spassky is a pawn up with a passed pawn, so rook to b1, and then here comes exclamation point d5. I have to say this was an unbelievable move by Boris Spassky, double exclamation point, because now Boris Spassky is completely sacrificing the queen. Rook takes on c1. Now you can't take the queen because of rook takes rook, check, and that's not good for white. It would be losing. So Spassky captured the rook, and this gives his opponent the time to defend the queen. But the rook and the bishop is under attack, so the queen was also under attack. So in this position, actually 3 of black's pieces is under attack. So queen to b2, and also still defending the rook, and simply knight takes rook. And the outside pass pawn is also a big problem to deal with for Zuidema, the Dutch international chess master. And where is this bishop going actually? So bishop takes on d5, and if queen takes knight, then rook takes on c7. You don't have to rush for capturing the bishop because this bishop is trapped, and white is actually doing excellent despite being a queen down. White has 2 rooks plus 2 extra pawns with this pass pawn as well. So incredible positional play by Boris Spassky, a very entertaining chess, beautiful chess. So queen to b2 and then capturing the rook. Again, this pass pawn is also a problem. So bishop takes, at least getting a pawn before losing the bishop, and then a5, full steam ahead. The a pawn is rolling towards the touchdown line. So queen over and then supporting the pawn. Very simple chess actually. So knight to f6 and then a6, simply pushing the pawn. Knight takes on d5, defending the rook. And black actually resigned after this move, as he can't do anything about pushing the pawn to a7, rook to b8, and white wins the game. A positional masterpiece by Boris Spassky, the 10th world chess champion. So the possible continuation, blocking, and simply we can take the knight and pushing the pawn, and black can't move the queen due to the pawn push, promoting the queen. So king to g7, and these are the computer's moves. So king to f1, and let me play these moves faster. So this is the correct way to handle the position. And then finally rook to b8, and everything is falling apart. Black can throw some checks, but eventually black is going to run out of checks. Now black will eventually black is going to run out of checks, as you can see in this example. So these were the moves of the computer chess engine once again. And queen to g7 and rook to g8, boom, it's game over. What an incredible chess game by Boris Spassky, and what an incredible positional understanding, positional chess by Spassky. And his queen sacrifice was simply amazing. d5. Would you sacrifice your queen in this position? Well, frankly speaking, I would not. Because you also have to see a lot of things, a lot of important following continuation moves. So actually after rook to b3, his opponent resigned. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye bye.